before all of that, tonight's top story. The real IRA has admitted carrying out a car bomb attack on MI5's headquarters at Palace Barracks in Hollywood just minutes after policing and justice powers were transferred from Westminster to Stormont.
The taxi driver was held hostage in North Belfast for 2 hours before he was forced to drive the bomb to the base in his car. We have two reports, the first from Jane Lochry, who has spent the day in Hollywood.
This is all that remains of the silver Skoda taxi which the bombers used to attack Palace Barracks. At 1 minute past midnight, policing and justice powers were transferred from Westminster to Stormont, and 23 minutes later, the no-warning device exploded just as the police and security staff were trying to evacuate young families and elderly people from their homes. The blast injured one man in his 70s who was taken to hospital as a precautionary measure. As you can see behind me, the force of the explosion ripped this car apart and also demolished the security fence in front of it. Debris is spread across a wide area. When the real IRA targeted Palace Barracks in the early hours of this morning, it also targeted MI5, which is now based here. Significantly, this organisation now plays a lead role in gathering intelligence on dissident Republican activity. The police say 3 men hijacked the taxi in Horseshoe Court in Ligoneel in North Belfast at 10 to 10 last night. They then held the taxi driver hostage for 2 hours while they loaded the device into his car and ordered him to take it to Palace Barracks. I understand a timing device was used which gave him just 1 hour before the bomb went off. This man, who lives nearby, saw the taxi parked outside the base just moments before it exploded.
And then suddenly there was a big bang, the house shook, the curtains blew in a bit, I heard some glass breaking. I went out the door to see what damage we'd done. Looked up, the taxi was gone, completely gone. There was only blowing out into the road.
The police say the spineless criminals who carried out this bombing had no regard for human life.
Clearly, that taxi driver and his family have been greatly traumatised by this event. Something terrible to be going about your normal business and to be traumatised by that sort of attack and put in that sort of situation. You can only imagine what he's going through at the minute.
Throughout the day, police forensic teams carried out intensive searches in the surrounding area. Late this afternoon, the Chief Constable himself arrived to talk to the many families who'd been evacuated to a nearby community centre.
Day by day, Northern Ireland is getting better and better, a place where young people can grow up in peace. That's the future. Our job is to deliver the personal policing, keep pursuing these folk, but I, like everybody, just wish that they would recognise that there's no place for them in the modern Northern Ireland.
The politicians who helped the many families who were forced to spend a night out of their homes had this message for the real IRA.
You are not going to derail the political process. You're not going to derail the peace process. You are not going to stop the devolution of policing and justice. And you're not going to intimidate the people of Northern Ireland.
The most effective long-term solution to this is building community confidence in policing. We need more intelligence, we need people working with the police, and that's the only way to stop it.
This evening, a small number of residents who live right beside the scene of the explosion are still unable to return to their homes. Jane Lochry, UTV Live, Hollywood.
Well, up to 60 people were evacuated from their homes as the bomb went off. The residents spent the day and much of the night and much of the day in a nearby community centre. A miraculous escape for one Hollywood family. Dennis Christie had just helped his 92-year-old mother to bed when the bomb went off. This is the damage caused to her home just 200 yards away. Shattered glass all over the front room, shrapnel from the bomb also found in the driveway.
And I was sitting watching the TV, and about 12:15, suddenly there's this enormous bang. And I thought somebody had thrown a brick through the window, but I could hear the glass breaking, and I could feel the blast, and the TV went off and the lights went out. And I just couldn't understand what happened, and then suddenly tweaked, goodness gracious, there's a bomb gone off.
An elderly man who was walking past the barracks at the time of the explosion suffered minor injuries.
He was in a bad way. He had come out, he got dressed and the bomb went off. He was at our AM flat, nearest to it, and it blew him off his feet. And he had a bad heart.
Miraculously, no one was seriously injured or even killed, but massive disruption has been caused to people's lives. Up to 60 residents were moved from their homes as the bomb actually went off and spent the night here at Redburn Community Centre.
It was just very, very scary, and very frightening, because literally if I had been out the door 2 minutes earlier, we would have been walked right into it. My house is right beside where the bomb went off.
A bit scared once we realised what it was, because it's been so long since anything like that has happened, and so it was very frightening.
The community has rallied round to help the residents, providing food and shelter, but all they want now is to be able to return home.
As the day went on, the daylight came, everybody was getting very, very tired and very irritable. It's just a lot of neighbours there had to come out in their pyjamas, and everybody just out the way they were, and they just want to get back.
Some of the people who had to leave their homes as a result of last night's bomb. Well, the Alliance